such acts, the punishments, such acts are classified as blackmail or sexual extortion, which can attract a jail term of 10 to 25 years. Almost say, oh yes, a attractive jail term. You bet him do akotu fiase between 10 to 25 years. Aseme besi wo krom hano. Amanfo ebe amanfo wanwa. We abra yengunsa egigim. Kevin Taylor. Ejuma we acho. Ejuma we ya che ya ko enim. Your experience, you know how to maneuver. Turbulence, smooth ride, riding on glass. We know everything. You run Phoebe biada. Ejuma we no everything is structured. Boy we your friend Williams and Nefi Sapon. Ono so be come 15. Ala man for hu simple sa no. What is stress ganyan what so dem. The ebesi wo Ghana no. Ade bi ebesi wo Ghana no. They are wanting then they say comedies. Boy we your friend Williams and Nefi Sapon oyewi obekom moko kan cyber security act na. Obekom not less than 15 years. Ma catch them on marking tour. Boy, way oyewi oye internet fraudster. Baby obehuni biya kasa wo osubekom. Tie asantina me no kano. Pia onana me do 2472 na pia. Eya chanchan hini Kevin Taylor maba enye nana miensa bantema tafo ena South Central so. Nana minie chanchan hini aba onana odono. Play no still I can once mo emedru ye. Asantinie. Aha, inti boy, where your friend Williams and Nefi Sapon oyewi oye kromfo ne maame eka internet fraud no ho ne papa eka internet fraud no ho sa abrantie we djuma odi o Ghana no say otwa ntro kire Ghana for say oye business tycoon oboa oni abrofo bi kotenas na otwa mo ntro say yan kaya intervenir anka John Mahama ko say John Mahama the first man to oba power inti boy we oye nipa bia oye dangerous. Do not allow this boy near you or your cromfo or your we. Now let me read the cyber security law in the cyber act. Yama refi 15 years no ebeto. So because 15 years now here there Masaba Williams and if upon so any scam, fraud, defraud, scam. That is fraud or defrauding by false pretense. Definition of fraud, scam. Williams and if upon tina me yes idea we mashane bo me gun segu ni triso one koteketwa Nana Tupac omobekom 15 years maka they cannot run away from that. Who got from him 15 years so now definition occurs that is a scam or fraud or defrauding by false pretense. It occurs when someone knowingly makes a false representation to deceive another person into giving up property, money, or something of value. Legal reference, section 131 to 132 of Act 29. Classification, second degree felony. Punishment, maximum imprisonment, 10 years, with or without hard labor, depending on the court's discretion. You see, Obi Disa Williams and Nefi Sapon, on it Bonfa Koteketu Nana Tupac, Nana Shako. Omo defrauding nipa. Oma Kobutira Bom, and Omo di Boni. And then the Menoka say, the Cyber Security Office of Ghana, under the Ghana Police Service, they have investigated them. They are going to take them to court. Now, Sam ranted, Bonnie Way no medi, and Bonnie Way almost said, it falls under the Cyber Security Act. Now we have the blackmail. Mr. S, get me the blackmail one. Make I will be in there, send a bay twa. Wait. Defrauding, fraud, and the fraud, Williams and Nefi Sapon with defrauding for any one, and a blackmail now on it Bonfa Koteketwa, Nana Tupac, Nana Nana Shako, and also attract and non quan so the punishment. Into defrauding or defrauding for now, the evidence have been piled, and welcome 10 years. Mr. S, get me the Cyber Security Act. Get me the act. They be a meka na mekao. I'll say it can be bichiro. The Cyber Security Act and say so fuck crime be so ede nyoma bi ehunahuna nipa bi na odi star ebe dada nipa bi behunahuna nipa bi a sa act no Ghana mbra kire say e wo so kom and so not less than 10 years inti between boy we as I'm the calculator say because I say unim the eba o can say there say between boy we oni bomfa kwateketwa bomfa tupac bomfa shako bomfa kinkran me say oni nana kinkran nana bomfa the kwatekete aye kinkran kwati adoma kinkran omo bekom na omo be roto o jail omo wu o jail omo be demache Williams Afrifa pon ne papa nie hwe wouldn't see we the law is the law branch we ni papa so your cromfort teacher amoaboaten or ye another criminal papa we na she Williams Afrifa pon echi a omo bu for Ghana they are all criminals baby obehu papa we matese so nya stroke order them because apostolic for no ko wia omo na sebio omo bompa egu nu so a yare abo papa na order them ne banie Williams Afrifa pon omo be no me akromfo say get me the Cybersecurity Act now Williams Afrifa pon ne ma me ne maame so eyewi oyekromfo maabi we bebia behu ni bia se wo dwomo se wo tekamo se one ne ko enhyiemu se wadi no you very careful oyekromfo oye fraudster maame we oyewi ne ba no kro no a obo no enua bi na omudidi ho akora no kobu nipa na ode ba na omo de saa sika no ebo mo ho bra amanfo ewu omo bu nkofo abrante we akobie twetwema me ho bra se clinic ena sebio omudi bu nkofo enti maame we bebia behunu bia no hunu se ono so oye kromfo a eni se o ma ne ben wo Williams Afrifa pon ne maame no na maame read Cybersecurity Act na ede Williams Afrifa pon one nana shako ebeko jail no enchrew enti Williams Afrifa pon ono ne crimes ne two we any what we call the Cybersecurity Act 2020 ne share samra we now, in Ghana, threatening to release someone's nude pictures to coerce them into doing something is considered a serious offense under the Cybersecurity Act 2020. This act specifically addresses cyber extortion, and non-consensual sharing or threatening to share intimate images. Threatening, non-consensual, and intimate images. And I be to say cyber extortion. Hey, video me ho. So when jai de oye na me the video me kwa bontene nipa bi na de bra me minim saa de no ye de finish show ye be gu anim ase saa de no ka na investigations show on record so waka so what threaten obi mekun me ma won tena asase we su biom saa de no betuma dem ma men kire how many years I be dem mo de aya na ye ka asema na mo sere ayila la ti bibia na ma wo su biti. Such act, the punishment, saadi and oya, asotwea aban de bema ono enie. Such acts are classified as blackmail or sexual extortion, which can attract a jail term of 10 to 25 years. And I said, and I'm a wusubiti. Almost say, oh yes, sir. A attractive jail term. You bet him do akotu fiase between 10 to 25 years. Aseme besi wo krom hadon. Amanfo ebe amanfo wanwa. Now, oko second point now say additionally, the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960, Act 29, also considers this a form of extortion, which is second-degree felony. Conviction under this law can lead to imprisonment of at least 5 years. Jami ready o hono. Bonfa koteketwa, bonfa krankran, one Williams and Afrifa, they can never escape it. I'm telling you on authority. They can never escape this. Emran so umua. I know you say we are bema. Emra law. Emra so umua. Now emra, it takes time to bite. And emra bi ebe so umua ebe wie no. It take it time. E boan hu ye. E jinane na so e kan to twomwa. La yela ayila lao. Emra. I'm just sending this a message to the young people in Ghana. Adia say one show abrabo ye. Now we are watching say we are Jack. They say Oba defias no be do yere 25 years. O yere da mukrampo kwatisa obiampo amanfo nefa into krampo de hokra and how. Eh? Okay. This is Asamba Kwa Sam George. I think say I was saying you pay attention to this statement. Please that for we sorry, my share that on the topics ni bi wo ho and please that for the American nyina fa no me sure say mu bi muti ase mu amuti ase mu nchechire mu brofo no enkyere omo ante no na ye koi de me try say medwudwam ye se na be ya PZ for mo beti ase my sorry panana pia sorry otu for na text me nana text me say Kevin me nkwara no nana ma me text nana mu ntwan me otu for text me say Kevin English ne dawson ma me text Nana I'm sorry and I'll make sure PZ people I'll break it down for them. I'm very, very sorry, Nana. I hope you are doing well. Yes, and South Centreso. Yes, I'll ask South Centreso to make sure that it goes down well. Bekwai is part of it. And Asanyuneso. Thank you, Nana, for reminding me. I'll make sure I limit the English. Piao. Thank you. Enti me text o tu for kan say Mr. no mano na fom ye na me limit brofo ne kakra amana batwi. Enti na na makasa enti e bedwudwum ma na aba fom kakra. Piao no na wo so nya bote na me spell enti na yes ano. Me. Na ma me dwudwum. Now communications minister Sam George akasa na ende o de asem bi aba betudwa asem no asama de ye. National Misinformation and Disinformation Bill set to be laid before Parliament. And Sam George, MPP for Tano, because Uniminyansa wa bing. Ono ultimi biabian sa would be only bono, or the Pimuano, Sam George, or a short boy, you're a boy, no blue, or a solid boy, MPP for person may be intimidating, because we're young, it's obvious with Jimmy Darby, MPP for young men, or Jimmy, Sam George, or Jimmy, or a solid is on his ground. On the Sam George by in the history of Ghana, Yanti data to say that what so be a D or Sako DSTV, or for say, or also a Sam George. And there or the assembly abatuja or say, a ba a ya atro in Katoswo, and Sema ya dada, Bosrebuka, Koteketwa, any in Katoswo, any a wood dear, Yaditina a yadian, a barefoot computer so internet so ana yɛde papers yɛde Facebook yɛde gina ewiase ɛde sign confording ɛda dankofo ɛde mfuturo egu Ghana for ni no and Sam George say NDC aban ahyehyɛ nkrata yɛde kɔto parliament say yɛso mu asebe besi okuru ana na mystery sa aban eba bɛhyɛ mmra na sa mmra no yɛhyɛ na so obetena Facebook na wudi atoro to John Mahama so Udi atro eto Sam George so. Udi atro eto Professor Jampo so. Udi atro eto Ibrahim Mahama so. Udi atro eto MP so. Udi atro to Kevin Taylor so a. Emra ne bema obi a ho kwan se ye betwe dete edwa kopie court. Emra no kura bedi ka kire asotwe a wo se de mawo. Enti abasa na attorney general no bedi wa asem. Enti ende no NDC aban a Sam George di anim no omato no mutuo se Bosremuka in Katoswo, Adada, in Fututuo, any Ayampia, Jimmy, any Koteketwa, any Emu Jimia, Ghana for social media, agents Omoki Kansam, Amasebio, Omokoti Ayatentina, and to Minchin Yakatino. And there's some George and NDC for their some say. Baba Semra. Me see, pages in Abugu. Me say bedroom baby, I'm over TV so, Omeka Edi, a year Mokoye, Nipa Mobile, and actually, Omutumika story. Inti ya besemra na emrano ya sevia untumi metena Facebook untumi metena YouTube untumi kogina baby embo usirem emfa ukotitiatie ntwa atro emrano ene be kire baby obeda we ene nyoma e wo se nyina as Ghana for ye protect na ye som na ma ye nikon na ye boa aban no ma ne hye samra no inti Sam George say omo prepare sankrata ne de abeto parliament na asantefo MP and one for MPs, enzima for MPs, Ghana MPs in crime for MPs in Yinakoshia. Na omu nyina de omu sa kwahya se yengin tum se yemra. Na me say ade e be hye samra we no. Amanfo be show 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. Obo so omu di fufuo nkomo, omu ntumi ndi story ho nkomo. Because you see, misinformation and disinformation, it's all speculative. Enti omu amuta di atropa no, ni nyina ndi omu kenyina speculations. Hey, matise we teni ate, we yesi we, aha, sankofo ni nyina be dem. Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto. Me say, hey, yenim way, hey, way, yenim so say no, yeah, way, you know about way, hey, me say sanko for the be dem. Because say a passing mra way, answer about betina wun to me radio, ejimi hono, unkuta krata ube dem. Yeah. Say a passing mra way, answer about betina asasi radio, abe jimi hu okumase no. Bondi krata wo de be support ni engineer so a wo be dem. Sa wo ti Facebook na wa adwene ya wo se Ghana mrancho. Wo de ye pass mra we a na wa beteno abaya han we yesi we ono oba we na wa employ oba we na ho de wa employ bia na obo obi din se gigim. Erade. Me say now betina TV so betina Facebook ebo bi dintra onye send your oboma okoti ayetenten me say amanfo bedem enti we ebe check system no you will see what will happen in Ghana and it dey catch the MPP for say some percent mama Ghana for jimu dia you should start from the basics sibia NDC for yen no monfa no kore enye hey hey where do I say anyway sa de wo bedem Democrat can them 25 years there the order that and sana the eba. Intim where there let us support for the minister to push it to parliament near passing in here. The bill yele to parliament ever pass it atro edi ntwato so MPP for number 1. And the reason why I support this is me juma be nyina trodo ni nyina no me de enkrata ene no kure ene tare chiri obi a oye kromfo nkwa ne be problem with this obi a oye twato so obi o twan atro ondi no kure obi a sebi oye ahoye a sebi o na brabo aya basa ohu de onye ene be problem until I expect every single person oye show to say me to encourage the Parliament of Ghana to pass this bill. In fact, it should be an emergency. It should be an urgent bill. I expect that by next week, I'll say bill way Parliament to be passing. Near who say Yashanemra, Yenina to Ghana, and they won't mean the Nante. So we should all help some George to lay this bill in Parliament to make sure say Parliament ajiatum to make sure say abayamra. Messi passe idea we are. 90% of platforms are omudin kwasasema omkasema MPP ni nyina begu. I'm telling you, within 1 month ni nyina begu. Me say, ya passe mra we are 90% of NPP platforms ebegu. And the reason why it ebegu ni say, edie na omo beka because untumi metena beka say, hey, ena we you say, ena we ni ati say, o de o ye be ma na wabodin. Asimesi, you say, why away, and Diameti and say, yes, way, aha, what your boding? A honor say, Akoko, the second name ya lolo. Enti, sa bill way there, I support it. And this bill, I know when it is passed, within a month, MPP platforms, radio, TV, ni begu. We will still control. Enti, we have been here, Oya Ba, Oya Bema, Odo Ghana, Obesa Ghana. You didn't know Kretichire Ghana. Now, but see a Jandam. They say, no, me catch him say Jandam will be murdered this year. And this is the beginning of the murder. Me catch him say MPP, you will murder sleep, you will not sleep anymore. Sleep, moku wo. Sabi way, I support it and it will be passed. Now, the day bill way, ever personal, I want to say some man for to me screen record it. The day bill will be personal, I will tell all NDC MPs and ministers to get their aides on standby. They should get them on standby. Obi ka some or the frafra obi or bubobu boding or yes or kase or yen kase chie kurapa mo fa no go jina court. So obi betena TV so or betena Facebook or betena TikTok. Say or they will picture crab to on any show so now I'm bold in picture that's why to me question the panel. this is the only way to make clean system no Ghana be fan into my pay fra yen nyina be hu so man ye kyekere atro enanka ese Ghana atro ne kofa ekufu ado baaye atro ene de ba omia baaye atro ne mama Kennedy Japan be di MP atro ene de Bride Champo ru parliament atro ene de MPP sa pathway e man be di Ghana so 8 years atro ne de galamsey e de obedru ha atro ne ma yesika sem nyina aseye atro enema ofuriata beye the finance minister atro de ma Gabi etu benya PD sika die atro ena ende de te ha ye busa Ghana sika sema di pe bi mpeso e atro into the moment you are able to cut down atro your problem as a nation corruption ni nyina na e atro na start corruption what you say corruption e atro na start corruption now ye den oh ye nya hwe na mukwe meeting be we dey conference keke atro meeting no mukwe no omukodi nkomo a kire se ne obebu obi enso so we dey retreat atro lies and static corruption. The moment you are able to clamp lies, the moment you are able to stop lies and corruption, we're defeating 50%. And let us try and infuse that that anti-corruption venom in the system by passing this misinformation and disinformation act. You will see what will happen. This bill, it will change the media landscape. It will change the way discussions are held on radio and on TV in Ghana. You will see healthy conversation. You will see, say, people will start to now analyze and see, say, hey, inti nkanyambra we na ba yanka oba betena be ka kire say yekoto aba na kwase bi tuntumi ka kire say aba na yebetu bi Sunday na atu bi Monday we nkodem dada kwase asa no apeteshini an hu fin sa no a whole party executive sana na bi enso tumi ko gina wo say aba na yebetu bi Sunday na atu bi Monday na atu bi Saturday san kwase afo nyina nko mu da jail inti mu me nyina mboa na support na sa eye de bill we yam pass it. Na ya pass bill we a region pa e beboa no pa no e Ashanti region. Me se enyo tumfo a anka bill we nka men support it. Na because men pese obi ebedi asantefo atro. Men pese obi be dada asantefo. Men pese obi betena wuntumi, obetena asase radio Kumase, obi betena radio bi so Kumase Kesben. E de atwa santeman tro se eye international airport no abedru inti Delta beba, den beba no. Saa de nti na me support bill we. Kwase bi ntumi ntena asante and dada asantefo. Inti bill we ba asantefo be hu no kure no. Bill we ba kwase bi ntumi ntena wuntumi and dada mo. Ojimifo bi ntumi ntena Kesben and dada wo. Or chibi ntumi ntena santimemu enka se media mete osompa intime kwasie bi ntumi nada inti this is why minuanoma santifo mu nyina momwa na yama bill we yam pass na embo asante ho ban se na be ya kwasie bi ntena nkran entwantro enkyere mo se moni abie enso ne emfa ade bi a kyere se enibia ba emba asantimemu me na woka sei and bibia ni wa your friend adibi enibia aba sante national theater ni wo airport international plane to me so ye share ni national press conference wo ye share ni ye ni bibi papa bia o Kempinski besi ba ko nkran wa besi bi Okumase enti o se ati ase se development ni aboye se de Johnson abo akoko ni pebiti radio so ni TV so asantemem no mo dada se bibia ye okay abra bibia nya okay. Inti nyina support it. Thank you very much. Otumfo nana medo say we remind me say menkai asanteman say sa bill we asanteman and support it. Me da sepa nana I mean sure. Calculation. All right, Mr. I'll do that. Now, under the press, let's get into the wagon. Egigim. The law is the law. Now, asama beto woni ma menkin kan yenko yenim. Asam ne say we every Institute of Environment and Sanitation Studies, IESS for the assembly betudwa, SS assembly nyina no yedi ho nkomo. Assembly ne saying, cassava, banche, inkontomre, bordie, nyadoa, ene sebio, de mokoa, baby a friend at Etiwa West, Eastern region, no, sebio, in Sheshemua, Institute of Environment and Sanitation Studies for aye abefu computer ahwehwe sa nnuane we ayedua no sa area what Eastern region no area from Etiwa West no ye see sa nnuane we banche fufo ho aka body just say enkwan fufuo ho adwuma ni nyina omo say oba etiwa westa sa ennuane ne de eye galamsey anase galamsey eye no Ghana insuo na say asase omdi mercury egugu asase nim e de tu asase ma insuo atene afa ensase ne so no afa emfuo mu ni ade no ennuane we ya efri eye etiwa eye de west ho no ennuane we dodo ni nyina no sebio led wom sebio ebetumi akose nipa bebre mo ahwere omo nkwa me na wo ka sei obi tibantama we dey say etiwa for eastern region omo gimi yetu body no eastern region a yedigu ka mu a yede bakaje tia na ebeton central market yetu banche no ewo eastern region etiwa yedigu ka mu a yeba beton ewo eye central market yeba beton ewo malata yeba beton ewo kotokraba yetu eye body yetu eye yetwa body ana garden x ana fufuo ho nyoma we nyina no yendini nyina we etiwa east wo yendini etiwa west yendini wo ho saa nnuane we nyina no yetamfri etiwa west a yede ni nyina ba nkrom yede ba krom yede ba nkran yede ba kumase yene a ye ministers no yene a yese ya asofo akese no yene a yese ya ko school yede yeni ate ya kenkan woma no yene yede bo fufuo tim yene yedi fufuo nyoma we nyina na etiwa west fo no omo ntandi eduane a omo dua saa body a omo twa kontomre nkwan saa banche omo tu no 90% of eduane a efri etiwa west no ni nyina yendini we etiwa west. This should concern every single person in Ghana. And it didn't start today. It started about 8, 9, 10 years ago. We were all here, especially in fact 8 years ago ekufo ane ba omiate so saa se we ko kan no bi se wo ye politics. Do you know how many years it takes for lead and mercury to destroy soil? It takes years. Inti abedu this point na se ye ka kire se ya ye hwehwemu na soil ni mu no bebi aduan kontomre banche bode nyoma ye di bofufuo ma otumfuo no ni nyina no yarewa wom because ya ye galamsey asase na o se tiase se time na ye dede when we were speaking against this government opening up the floodgates for Chairman Tumimo, for MPP for to allow lots and lots of Chinese to come in to do galamsey. If those things were adhered to and kabani tiye and ka MPP abano take action sen come fanya politics sen ka Ekufuado mo estopi Kate Jemfua estopi Chairman Untumi estopi eyedien Samia Uku estopi Kojo Ponkroma estopi Lord Komi Gabi Ocheda and ka Ekufuado mo amfa party amfra fremu and no for politics amfra and ka enne and ka sa report we can ma remember. So I report way and just 6 months way and a mass idea we see you. It's over time. And I'm a led way I dominate one sasinum our etiwa west. Eti banchio bodio nyadua o adibi edi wo fufuo bia wo kumasi bia no ye di no kumasi na o say eti ase say galamsey nya eastern region kwan ye no. Enti say ye say nduane a wo etiwa west wo eastern region sa yare we nyina wom because of galamsey or say tiase say bia etu galamsey or Ghana bia no sa their research way it basically falls under it, meaning say Ashanti region east western region region bia serious galamsey o bia no sa de way it should worry every single person. It's not a joke. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, say, the government of the day should not work hard, should not do their best to stop illegal mining. The government needs to work on it. The government needs to do everything to make sure, say, inheritance no more inheritance free Ekufuado. They have to fight it. The way they are trying to fight our economic problems, this government, they need to also try their best to fight the problem. Because you see, at a point, we had a government that saw the fight against galamsey as a punishment. It saw it as a blockage to their next win, and I say next election win. And they decided to ignore the concerns of the citizenry. They turned it into politics. Time and MPP also, Ekufuado also for 8 years. Ghana and Nibian were raised the issue about galamsey. People were insulted. Myself, my team, people who watched me for 8 years. Now the consequences They are there for all of us to bear. And kwasiafo mu di sa boneno and omo be press conference omo kuta foreign water. And the yo fi grant mo Gabi Ochida komo eye Charles Bisi mo eye Ekwewusi eye Pius Ejide Samia Wuku Kojo Ponkroma eye sankofo na omo ye gala chema wuntumi ketijemfu amono omo ba press conference omo kuta foreign water. But wona na wo defend omo Etiwa East no anase Etiwa West wona na otia santimemu eti obuasia danse na wo ye MPP ni NDC na eku galamsey ntia ase John Muhammad ye campaign and NDC for no wona na wo kono wona wo bewu. And this is inevitable. Yakase bronika say this is inevitable. Ewu a ben wono no agye ntem yemu bi yebewu is a fact. Let's not sit and pretend as if say the American no it will take years. No. Ediana Ekufuado eduaye no sa galamsey eduaba na MPP duaye no ye ba bewu. Let's stop acting as if say everything is okay. Nothing is okay. The 8-year damage these people did. So 6 months we ain't to be solved. It's our problem. No, in fact, we cannot even use 4 years to solve that problem. Let's pray this government at the end of the day does its best to minimize the debt because they pay. I am not scaring you. I am telling you the reality. The reality is nipa ebewu near Tikromha and yes sorry yeah I have heard a year. The National House of Chiefs President, Mr. S, Mr. P, I beg you, where is my video? Team. Mr. P. Mr. S, where is Ojahoho's video? I need it. It's not on the system. Yes, when we were having a meeting, it was supposed to be part of the stuff that we put together. Please, point it out. It's not in the system. I'm looking at the system. The National House of Chiefs President, Wakasa, and wakasa se penyini. Now, eye oji ahoho on the National House of Chiefs President. We di sa president na enye ndo. MPP abreso ena eye oji ahoho ohene oji ahoho ebe the president of the National House of Chiefs. Now, ye di galamsey unkomo so many times. Ye kan galamsey unsem na oji ahoho mu nyina wo Ghana. In fact, the kind of aggressiveness and ye pay free ahemfo na omudi Ghana nim. In fact, baby to say the National House of Chiefs. Nanka the kind of body language, the aggressiveness, the kind of attitude that ye hear every the National House of Chiefs, the leaders are not more National House of Chiefs. No, we didn't see it. Today, shockingly enough, Ojahoho has found his voice. And he's seriously spewing. He's basically speaking on issues. Galamsey no, ma ekufuado mbra no yekaye. Adentina na de yanka, and I agree with him. Let's listen to him. Papa Wey was the president of the National House of Chiefs during Ekufuado's era.
These forests were created in 1929, and even the local people were not allowed to go there to collect snails, raffia. But now we are giving this out for people to go and do illegal, irresponsible mining. During the MPP time, we are all blaming Jubilee House. This time, NDC time, we are still blaming Jubilee House. They are involved. Let's speak out. You are media people. Let us all speak out because it affects us. Right now, water, the price of bottled water is rising. Why? Because in the villages, they don't get stream water to drink again. What is our business going to the forest in the first place? Period to the elections, we're all blaming Jubilee House. And it is true. Government officials, and even right now, NDC officials are also involved. So we should all sit down, let us expose them. Go to the village, go to where they are doing, film them, and name and shame.
He's right. Ojahoho, the president of the National House of Chiefs, and then obey you. Tamane Kufuado Tisinyano, a president. Did you hear him speak like this before? No. And there was here, Galamsia Samano, Ekufuado Tiso, they be a blame Jubilee House, and the Jomahama by blame Jubilee House. He's right. He's not wrong. He's right. But the part that I want him to prove to us that he's credible is that he's supposed to mention names of this government, the appointees who are involved in Galamsey. You see, so you're now TV so now kasa anyhow. You allow young people on the street to question your level of intelligence. Because you can't just say kwasi ampenyi bi ebetina social media eke kan sem say NDC for bi na so wontumi ambo din amfa fact anto a ye hunu so ekwasea because ondi nipa bi enim se na adwene kra so odi nipa ni bia emmoa bi na odi obonim ti na adwene so nipa. But if you are the president of the National House of Chiefs, now so when you have the opportunity to speak on such a very delicate issue, you need to be bold to mention names. Because I can now boarding government appointees who are involved there. It will make you more legit. It will make you more credible. It will force people to take their time before they question your level of intelligence and also where you belong to when it comes to politics or your political affiliation. Because you cannot just say, because people were blaming the Akufo-Addo and the MPP in 2020, from 2017 to 2024, no, we have to, by force, blame this government. I am not holding brief for this government. If there are people in this government who are involved in Galamsey, so you need to mention the name. That is why I encourage young people or journalists on TV to not just come on TV and say, people in this government are doing Galamsey. Mention the name. And when you mention the name, we will question the person. And that is what we call you being an elder. Now, listen. Papa Wei and Chebia, let me show you this. And I'm talking about Ojahoho, right? This is the same man. This was in September 2024. What did he say? Enforce laws against illegal mining than imposing total ban on all mining activities. Original National House of Chiefs catch the Ghana for say, Yen Kungalam say 2024 ne kufa no power. Osio, sa temana Ghana for air call for a total ban. Sebio on all mining activities in Ghana and the Akufo-Addo. On hini we be Gina Ghana for catch say, on tiasi ene di on peneso. On peneso. Sebio abano amo institutions na eye mining so no omo no munye omadwuma na total ban. Na ose ono on peneso. On say ade chie no this same man ojina TV so eka say ni eblemu Akufo-Addo aban and dey eblemu NDC na aban we mu ni pay ye enso ntime bie na no ambo bia din we yo hene ye nto ne so aba say odia hoho eka no kore na say enye atro no pese ode kɔ nendam na ode kɔ wu a osanko bodin ni ehun so hene we die se bi odi no kore papa we die enye ne position na wo no ene why na you say obehye House of Chiefs national echi e dia bedi obi hu asem abeka asem a enim. Because as I sit here, I am questioning your credibility as a man who basically can be trusted. Because sawunim nipemua omwa bemwa omoye gala. What is stopping you from doing it? Remember, man we timer na oye still Odanwe president of the National House of Chiefs. He was in Ghana and a Professor Frimpong Boateng released a whole report as a sector minister of lands. And Okatakyie Ghana for say report we omo ye Galamsey wo Ghana nyina no omo din wom mede ma Akufo-Addo e na ototwene ye na man we wo Ghana. What did he say? Thank you very much, team. Na man we wo Ghana time Frimpong Boateng e de report the Abronye ebeka kire Ghana for say Nana Danko Akufo-Addo me na nam ye sector minister mama ne report a kire say Lord Kome ye Galamsey Gabi Ocheda akundi wom, Kwekuba akudi wom, Chairman Wuntumi di wom, Kate Jemfua di wom, Samia Wuku, any MPP mpenifo ne chairman for Obodi were reporting him, Emma the whole Ghana yenye beridi. This man na odanho ye the president of the Ghana the national the House of Chiefs, the National House of Chiefs. He did not speak. He stayed away from the scandal. He stayed away from that report. It is because he thinks he's going to use his position to deceive Ghanaians. Because on person in the position by deceive Ghanaians, then he should mention names. He cannot just come and vaguely come and make a statement that is weak and just walk away and make it look like, say, with all due respect, you are making sense than anybody else. You need to be emphatic enough because we respect you as the president of the National House of Chiefs. You just don't speculate. You make it emphatic. Yenye pese stop Galamsey no. Yenye pese chinipa. Yenye pese abandi bo edi hudjuma. Identity e gina hoye nipebi. Mention the name. We have passed that stage of nipebi wa abema omuye Galamsey. Nipebi wa abema omuye Galamsey. The last time I was telling journalists in Ghana. So be better now TV so say nipebi wa abema omuye Galamsey. Kaje say on to me mbodiya. You should shut up. That is how it's supposed to be done. So I want to mean Bodino and for credibility and to line. So and can say minimum size way, Kevin Taylor, Kwame way, Eko way, Ewa way, or your way. I didn't say yes, you are making emphatic statement. Because this kind of speculative statement, and then a kufu admushe chirabedru hanea, almost say you suna menewo, ye babe no. And these are things we have been talking about. Speculations. In penifo amamu positions na omo TV so omo granting interviewer na omo pese omo hunhunu enyo be gu Ghana system nim. We should pass that stage of speculation. Sadia when ya be gina kasa say na yama abodamfo bi afa ya no asem na omo de keka nkwase asem without any facts. I will be happy if somebody in this government is exposed with the fact to say, oh yeah, Galam say, I will support it. I will make sure that person is kicked out of this government. That person is rebuked. If that person has to be prosecuted, they are prosecuted. I will do it. I don't think if you cannot mention names, then shut up. With all due respect, say, Ojawo, you represent the National House of Chiefs. Okasa enyam frama, Okasa enante. Onye ready say ubebodia, shut up and stay quiet. And let us, the young ones, find a fact and then do what? And then follow the fact. Stop this speculative statement. Be emphatic in your statement. Speculations, the mama politician be afayedi. Ama politicians be asai Ghana. Nana the dan kweku for the ba umya so yentumi nkasa direct, yentumi mbodin ene yebu nkwasiabe openye jekum ne di baby obetena radio so a nkwasiabe for 8 years. Hwe ho sunsanso. Why the thing was saying no say be factual. Be emphatic in your statement. Let the people know. Say a seminar wokano uwe njina so na yentu ho anamon. Obia tumi beka say abamu nipa ye galam say yebetumaka obia betumaka edien how are we going to solve the problem? Huh? Ofui bia betuma beka say abamu nipa ye galam say it's speculative. The person should be emphatic. The way from Boating the report by Ania Church D-Wom, today the names are still in the report. That is factual. So between you and the Professor from Boating or Jahoho, I will respect from Boating than you because from Boating came with names. You didn't come with any name. You just came to speculate. Say, Obi ya MPP idea bina ya we are. You are not supposed to copy the same thing. Move, just go ahead of people who speculated. Just be factual today because whilst some hold weight is my simple advice to you. So let's all try and help and fight this and stop this. Where you hene obiantu minchi wuntum obianto so aba sa wonya bone ana woni obi enye bibia wonim se oba beto to a ade na wonya bold embodin. Sibia wokasa ne kire se ebia one politician bia ye bibia usuro se ubodin a politician no ebeba bontan beka oboni awaye na se wonim se ahene na wudi no or the presidency now occupy as the National House of Chiefs president onye bone onja ajemude onye bibia etie oman we mra ebio sebio mane susumina so ebia wankasa no se onye galam se ni bia you should be bold enough to mention names. So mention the name and let's move forward. Please, we are tired of this speculative statement. I just say, why MPP communicator be say NDC coming, we don't know where you belong. Be emphatic and let's move on. Mr. Ramo, you jai sa nyoma and solve problem yeah. Asam fu froswa say si. Asam na esi ni a year Ghana AIDS Commission for a release statement. Emu onyono. Na the ama emu anyunu nyina na say Ghana records 12,614 AIDS-related deaths in 2024, up from 12,480 in 2023. Ghana AIDS Commission for the Assembly Biabetor emu ding emu du. And before I speak on this, a woman reached out to me a couple of months ago about Ghana AIDS Commission and the way they do their statistics. This email, I need to find it. She was very, very detailed. I think she's worked there before. But right now, maybe only Ghana, Biman, I say, or Abronye, I don't. But she sent me a very detailed email. And if that woman is watching me, she can remind me. It's in my email. There are a lot of emails that I receive. And she basically, email or sent me, it was time na Omoka say because of free SHS in T, a year HIV a from there was something like that. And I would like to apologize to the 8th Commission. I don't know whether the man is still there or not. In fact, I based my editorial or I reacted to that story based on the story that came out. In fact, for some reason, I read the whole story, and it was a quote that Ghana Web or one of those media houses put out, not knowing that the statement the man put out, and let me say this today, the statement they put out on Ghana Web say a man and a car, that wasn't the context and a man no. But Ghana Web added to Ghana 8th Commission man. So I don't know if he's still there. Now what happened? And they say the man actually reached out to Ghana Web. And Okatakyie say the story you put out there, say me say free SHS at HIV, so it is wrong, and that the context you used my quote, it was wrong. And the reporter should come back and have this interview again. Ever since the Ghana Web guys never went back to the man again. So what they did was that and it was getting closer to elections. And that thing really worried the man, because that wasn't what he said. But because Ghana Web na say carry story be the part to abontin say because of free SHS and the Kufado and the Esako community the asem koto man so ma till date is a problem for the man. And the man reached out to the media houses that came to his office, or it was an event of Frey almost said they should come back. And that the story they have put out there, he didn't say that. The reporter who came misreported. Ever since there, Ghana Web and those people never went back to the man. And they put that fake story on the man. I think it's the Ghana 8th Commission boss. Now, that story by a lady reached out to me. And that lady was like, the statistics, the way Ghana 8th Commission, they do their statistics, how they arrive at their figures, they need to really look at it, because sometimes it overlaps. Either they overstate the numbers or they understate the numbers. And if it is within a margin of error, it's fine. But it is not within margin of error. Normally, sometimes, most cases, they understate even the numbers. So the woman emailed me and said, she actually sent me all the facts and how they do their statistics and how she believes to say, you cannot say, you tested somebody in senior high school, time of call first year. So nipa now testing na oye negative no. So nipa do third year. At that point, that person, the statistics now will take in SS1. No, it cannot qualify. Say nipa do SS3 no, onya 8. So you cannot use that number now. We take it 3 years ago no to justify the fourth year no and say because na nipa no SS1 only 8 no, or do SS4 and answer SS3 no only 8. It doesn't work like that. And I think that is the small mistakes the Ghana 8th Commission makes. But nevertheless, we need to also address the issue here. The issue, Mr. S. Yes, this is the story. There's the story. Let me. In fact, it's about time I clarify this matter, because modern Ghana. In fact, modern Ghana so be another outlet in Kwasiade Nkwanomoye. They don't even have an office. Criminals. Modern Ghana so this is the story I was talking about. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, team, for bringing this story out. This is Asema Omokato Papa Wiso. It was close to elections. Free SHS has reduced teenage pregnancies, HIV infections by 50%. Ghana 8th Commission. This man did not make this statement. But modern Ghana, they picked it, and because modern Ghana ensured any better news outlet, a criminal entity, some young boys be, foolish boys be without any credibility. And what they do is, 20 Ghana, they will write things about people and destroy lives. This man never made this statement. And decide deal with Jandam way a 2 man way so. This man made every effort to get modern Ghana the reporter now Obasa event, because it was an event. And na man a grant interview. And na Kuraniko Jina ho and na opeke sa partner and ochasa 2 man way so. And because modern Ghana mono, it is all about money. It is all about Sika Momo and this side we kotuo, because near Kotuaba it was around, I think, February 2024. Now, Fena, gear up to elections. So they needed to use these words to justify free SHS. This was fake story. And the same man ding. So platforms like Modern Ghana, you have to be very careful. So who story of modern Ghana, be careful. They are a bunch of thieves. They have no credibility. Into the story of modern Ghana, Ghana Web, make sure you double check those stories. Fact check the story before. Because some modern Ghana and they can destroy you. I'm telling you, modern Ghana. But some office when they don't even have an office. Some foolish boys 3B are conforming and sabi. I'll get you their pictures. Stupid boys, so and that is what they do. This is what they did. If they like, they should come out and say something. The man will speak. Go to the man. He will tell you. The MPP for decided way essay man with life. But let's come to the issue I was talking about. 8 as seminal. Now we should not joke with these numbers. 2023, Nanipa almost say in their data, not Omunya 8 or Ghana, no, now 12,480. In 2024, no, I jump it to 12,614. We need to find a way. We need to find a way to curb and to slow down HIV. And I say, among for Omunya 8 or Ghana, we need to find a way. There should be more education. I remember in the early 90s, and early 2000s, there were a lot of AIDS adverts, and I say HIV adverts on TV. What it does, and they say, sometimes there were a lot of us who were in school. Now your JSS near the day. What it does, and they say, the more you watch these adverts, as a young man, as a teenager, it puts some little fear in you. And I'm not saying fear that is going to stop you from being who you are, but it puts some kind of caution close to where your heart is, where your reasoning basically baby awakuma no ebi e wona ene wa adwene ne kabom adwene no. Enti every time these ads were playing on TV, even though young men and women were active, but at least when you take 10 young men and women over about 5 down from 5, you get about 7 of them telling you, say, that ad always has been talking to them. And people like us, we found ourselves in that position. And it's not people like us, we were always cautioned. These kind of ads that were circulating all over the place. Now away a TV so, now away a radio so. These ads, you might think they don't do anything, but what they do is when a young man is walking, when a young girl is walking, his school bag bodechi, now that big billboard and it's talking to him. Instantly, that person will walk away. Or forward 3 times, 4 times, or tear advert 4 times, visually, or who bear 10 times, 20 times, 300 times. That thing plays in their head. And it's a little deterrent. At least it's a deterrent, and more omutumika say, unya nipa 5 cry, 3 beka say, I am not going to get myself involved in unprotected sex. It is not always about using Bible, using Quran. It's not always about intimidating them. There are so many ways to let people understand, say, there is a problem around them and that there is a way to move out of the problem. It should always not be a Rambo style of solving issues. Sometimes psychologically, you have to put the art in the system. We need to pump a lot of educative resource, art in the system. Let it be in the system. Let the people grow up with it. Majority of us, we grew up in homes where we didn't even believe in the religion. But because that is the church our parents, our uncles were attending, we ended up calling ourselves Methodist for, Roman for, Anglican for. It is because we grew up with it. It's not because we believe in it. It's because that is what we grew up in. And we need to let the kids, the young people, grow up with the education. They need to at least be sensitized indirectly. It needs to ring in their head. Normally, those kind of adverts, those kind of things, when you are about to get in the act, when you are in that process, that is when those things ring. Because the moment a young lady, a young man at a certain age wants to get involved in unprotected sex, he or she is trying to find a reason to do it. Now, in a process of finding or trying to find a reason, say, or the best idea, no. Now, nyoma emma reasons na, or person they justify the oil, no. Nyoma ni bini advert na bad it's him. Because obedi bonia, debiano, ope reason bia or the jina so di boneno. Now, the emma air dema, say body no untumi din straightforward that or break across no we take decisions say there are some other positive reasons bia it fights that reason na wunim say enya ba o person dey justify body na obedi no those positive reasons no and that reason no and then a fight too. As much as you the parent you are not there, you the young parent you are not there, no, those advertisements no, they fight the conscience. They speak to the young one. They speak to those who are ready. Inti obi to me do point you will say, okay, me say me, but Bibi catch them, and Bibi na catch no. What she has been listening to, she has been visualizing things. And itina, oko head TV so you say idea where the parental guide that so where there is not for young people because the moment they get used to things that they are not supposed to watch, they grow up with it. Inti the good ones, you know, let us force the young people they used to grow up with. Obviously. Some will not listen, but if you are able to get some out to who don't fall in the trap, at least you've made some progress. At least you have saved a life. That is how we need to do it. And the Ghana AIDS Commission, we need to resource them. We cannot just put a commission there and tell them to make sure they try and fight it. You can't do that. Governments have to make sure AIDS Commission and stuff like that, we resource them enough. Their presence needs to be felt in the system. We need to see their presence. The AIDS Commission, they need to basically be working with the NCCE. Go and look at this NCCE boss. Kwasiato Odaho, the Nimsa Monching, and Kwasia politics. This is the job of NCCE having a collaboration with Ghana AIDS Commission, making sure. And Kwarano, they don't have to choose what they like. We need to let them understand the good things they need to follow. And Kwarano Mabano, they don't have to choose what they like. We need to find a way for them to believe in good things. That is how we need to instill the good things in them indirectly. Because at this point, they all have liberty to do whatever they want to do. The world is in their palm. They have a phone. They can watch porn. They can take decisions without you, the parent, knowing. At this point, it's not about you being there physically. You can indirectly train your kid. You can use different kinds of resources to guide your kid. And we as a nation, we need that to protect Nkwarano. It is not always about Bible. It's not always about prayers. Those things at the end of the day, teenage pregnancy, fall out of school. So many of them. It takes a single thing to convince someone. Continuously, we need to play it in their heads. Unprotected sex, having so many sex partners, the implications. We need to let them know. In the olden days, to me, why are we not able to do it now that we even have easy access to get these informations to them? Now, Mr. S, do you have something for me? Okay. This is on say me modern Ghana natural, right? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. S. Metro disinformation and misinformation now in conform with the modern Ghana and the Ghana web. You see, this is also Omugu papa we ni masiwie no. Omugu papa we ni masiwie no. Modern Ghana we no ena Ghana web so be fast story no. Also why say free SHS reduce HIV infection pregnancy among girls by 50%. 8th Commission boss. This is the Ghana web. This is Ghana web. So you see what they do. This is what they do. And in 2024, they lied to Ghanaians. They misinformed Ghanaians. Ghana web, modern Ghana, that is what they did. But these are not the truth. These are not the facts. They lied to Ghanaians. Because number somebody free SHS campaign. Number somebody free SHS the facts were wrong. So fake facts on my name, no credit. We were supposed to take our time. But I'm happy that at the end of the day, we did not fall for these lies. Now, let's move forward to the next story. And the next story is this. It's a very important story. And it also goes back to our young people. UPSA 4, we all saw the video. Now, almost say they are clamping down on what we call indecent dressing on campus. Until basically UPSA apologizes for viral altercation, reviews dress code enforcement. And a UPSA for you video na omo security omo campus technically omo harass some of the students, all because you say entire na omo enye decent omo entire omo no sebio entwa emfa kwan na ebi mu a entire show more campus no nyentade bia osen ka mutumi share the class and lectures enti school no security phobia mo and task force phobia no estati ejojo inkwara ni bi. When I saw the video, I told myself, say, straightforward, UPSA, they got it wrong. They got it wrong, and I'm happy they have come out to apologize. Because, you see, what they did, a full assault and harassment. What the security guys did there, they basically assaulted these people, they harassed them, they embarrassed them. This is an institution, a tertiary institution. Obia or what tertiary institution is seen to be over 18 years. We might not like the way some people dress as an institution. Into the end, I was saying, what we need to do as an institution, and say, ansana obia eura nkremu for way example na mema ansana obia eura nkremu for masalachino onim the code, onim the conduct, onim the don'ts and the do's, whatever. Answer obi abe sorry say me ko ra masalachi no. Answer na oba besie bi abe sorry say me pese me ko ra masalachi no. Without due respect, onim bebi a ogina e o masalachi. Say unya nkremoni kura na ura masalachi a o idea say unim bebi a ogina. Unim say ura masalachi a there are some things you cannot do. Now, as an institution, it is your responsibility to make sure say answer na nipa no enwura wo school say wa admit no enkrata wo de beto na ni mana sign no obamana tia say this is part of the contract between us, the institution, and you, the student. Now say nipa no wura school ho without signing any document preventing them or cautioning them how to dress or follow a certain code, then you don't have any right to harass anybody on campus. And see, what they did, what the school did, with all due respect, so when your student they can sue the school and make a lot of money out of you people. The apology is just an apology. With all due respect. The authorities of the school, they got it wrong. And this afternoon, I was having this conversation with my team. And one of my colleagues, no more can say me say, my ghosty members, boss, but these kids, the way they dress, they basically distract the lecturers. The way they dress, they indirectly harass some of the lecturers. And it is also good when these things are done, because you can't dress in a way obi chradie papa penyinia sebi also a lecturer wabegina monima wa chradie na abayo wa washa atade bia enye decent wa hwene egu ho wenufu ase gu ho and I catch the team and say, and my colleague, I told him, you as a lecturer, if you stand in a classroom and you allow what a student is wearing to distract you, for you to go as far as asking that person out, then you are not fit to stand before these young people. Because the honest truth is, a jumana ya diamaono. You are seen as a lecturer. You are seen as somebody who has grades to share. And when I say share, to share, abra obi aye juma to get those grades. Your responsibility is to teach. Now, if you allow somebody, the way they look, the way they dress, to be able to infiltrate you, your professional work, to say, because of the way girls were dressing, I fell as a lecturer. Because that's the reason why I slept with this kid. That's the reason why it's distracting me. Then you yourself, you are psychologically not ready. That is why when you're a lecturer and you see something in your classroom and you don't like it, you basically go through the proper channel to make sure whether it's a student or the whole class, you are make sure the process works for them to be cautioned. And it's a specific kid about class. It is not helping your professional work. It can distract you and the people in your class. You have all the right to go through the right channel to report that student, that this particular student is doing some things that I believe as a professional teacher is not supposed to be done in my classroom, and I don't want that to be repeated. But then you cannot take the law in your hand and say, because some people are dressing in a certain manner you don't like. Now, someone started to say, more bandon call for up. What are they? And if that is the only clothes, the entire miensa, and then a tossum miensa, skirt a shadow, any a blouse a shadow, and then the entire miensa, are you going to buy new clothes for these students who are all over 18 years? Remember, you can't tertiary institution, you want conform body 35, 40, omo abba eba betwa omo dwumadie so anaso omadisua so. So you don't see them as 19-year-old kids. These are people who are basically above the age of 18 and cannot be treated anyhow. And to say, these things, schools are. The schools should add or make this mandatory. So, by UPSA, you cannot dress a certain way. If you're going to wear a skirt, make sure it does not part. Its limit gets to this point. If you're going to wear this kind of clothes, this is the standard. O skirt, so much skirt, I also do. Inti I don't know who set this rule now. It is clear for you to basically take action. But you cannot sit and say there are no rules governing dress code, but you just get up and say the way you are dressed, it's intimidating people, or you are harassing people through your dressing, so we are going to come and pick you out of class. No. Inti, I believe say this apology is not enough. The psychological and emotional trauma of these students, this apology is not enough. We cannot let institutions like UPSA get away with this just like that. No. You cannot just release a statement and say, our security or task force did not do the right thing, and so we are sorry. It does not work like that. Because if a lecturer was attacked on campus by a student, that student couldn't just write a statement and say, I am sorry, lecturer, for slapping you. You people would take primitive action. Sorry, punitive action. You would take action and no a ding. So we want you people to also understand the action of these people. No, it is not just I am sorry. No, you people need to do more than this. You people should show, it is not just I am sorry. For you to just come and release a statement, it does not take the act away. It does not take that act away. You people need to go further, because you have really embarrassed people. Harassed emotionally, some of these people cannot even come to class for weeks. Psychologically, some people cannot even study. Some people cannot even mingle with other people again because of what you people did to these young students. I am not here condoning any kind of dressing on campus. If any institution or school wants to make sure, dress code is adhered to, you have the right to enter that in your school manifesto or whatever. Any student who is admitted in your tertiary institution knows for a fact that this is part of the contract I have signed with the school, and that if I break this rule, I might lose that opportunity of staying on this campus or staying on this campus. That's it. So the school should get it. You cannot harass people and get away with it, and the next day just write what we call a apology letter. Now, the chancellor of the school or whoever is in charge of the school, Senebaba and Ankobiko Jojo, say, would he or would she have taken just an apology and say, let it go? No. So this is not the end of it. Just an apology on paper, nobody's accepting it. You need to do more. I don't have to tell you what to do, but you need to do more than what you have done. And I make you will visit the story again. Yabasa story we so. Yabasa be I'm a Ghana for and somebody's telling me using too much English today. I know, I'm sorry. Now,